Hey everyone, this is Vinny, and today I am here with a good friend of mine, MechaGamezilla, and today we're going to just talk about all kinds of stuff. We're going to get to know each other a little bit and figure out what it is.
Look, they know who I am, but you tell us about yourself, Vinny, because you know they're probably sick of hearing about me at this stage. But what is it that you do, and can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, and thanks for the opportunity, by the way.
So, it's no problem. I mean, I do what I can, because there's people who you just see, they're fucking crawling along, and they're begging, they're grabbing at your ankles, and most of them I just kick back into the ditch. But you see, like, I'll give you, don't blow it.
I'll try not to. Well, I stream video games, and sometimes I make videos from them, and I do a lot of other
streaming. What's
streaming?
What's you're gonna have to explain that to me.
Oh, streaming is kind of like when you broadcast yourself through the computer. Like the computer, you know, so other people can see what you're doing, you know, when it comes to maybe video games, or you can stream yourself making a song, or
you sort of set up a video camera, is it?
A video camera? Not necessarily, no.
Sort of like, do you get those lines on the screen though doing that? Is it hard to keep it steady while you're talking? How can you play the game and record the screen at the same time?
Well, no, you don't actually record the screen with a camera. That wouldn't look very good.
But how does it get on television then?
Well, it's through the computer. So what you have to do is you have to use one of the programs that are available, and well, you kind of just stream whatever game you're playing straight through. You don't actually use a video camera or anything like that.
Yeah, you're not being very clear here. Look, you have to assume that the people listening now don't know how this process works. I don't know how it works. Explain properly, how do you record it with a camera while playing and speaking, and how does it get on television?
There's so much wrong with that sentence. I don't know where to begin. It's not through the television. First of all, it's you have a computer, right?
Well, I've got a sort of, it's like a television but with a typewriter, and then there's a big box. I've got one. I
broadcast to people through their typewriter television box, and not an actual TV.
And does that come in on the pipe, or is it satellites?
Well, it's not really either of those things. It's kind of more like the internet. I mean, that's you do know what the internet is. I mean,
so like you need an antenna for this?
I've never investigated antenna technology for such a thing, but I'm sure satellites, antennas, and all that stuff are viable to some extent. But I don't do that, and I don't think the majority of other.
Safe?
Is it safe? Of course it's safe. It's the internet. I mean, how do you go online? How do you upload your videos? How do you? It's safe. Do you have like?
You know when people say, "Of course it's safe." Do you know who says, "Of course it's safe"? People who kill by using bad science. Of course it's safe. Have you never seen a film? Films like when there's a TV show, but it's not good enough to be a show, so they just make one, and then they put it on a really big telly. And when you go to see them, what happens is there's a scientist and he says, of course it's safe. And then everybody dies. So what do you think you're playing at?
Do we live on the same planet? I'm just wondering, are we...
Well, I hope not, if this is the kind of irresponsible thing you're doing.
We don't use satellites to stream. There's no satellites involved. It's just you play video games on the internet, online, and you broadcast it using a program, and no one gets hurt. I've been doing this for 5 years. No one has had any physical, maybe their feelings, but aside from that, no one has been hurt in any capacity. So it's safe, and it's not at all like a film.
How do you know that? How do you know it hasn't hurt anyone? Like, if I was streaming my video games, how am I to know if people have been laid waste? Are you monitoring these people? Is like, what's the deal?
No, I don't monitor the people. I just
Can
know that...
you prove nobody has died as a result of this streaming that you do? Can you prove that to me?
Not on a physical level. No, I suppose not.
We exist on a physical plane, Vinny.
Well, no,
I know you don't like to exist on a physical plane. You'd rather be up in space beaming down your fucking death streams.
It's not a fucking satellite. It's just... you play a game on the internet and people watch. No one gets hurt. No one dies. It's completely fine. It's just you play a game. I mean, there are people that give copious amounts of money to streamers, so it's easier to lose money, but I don't think there's any harm of dying. So
okay, so it's more of a money scam rather than a violent death thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. So these little films that you do, why would anyone want to see those?
Do you mean YouTube videos? Is that what you mean?
Oh yes.
I mean, you do those. You do have, so you know how that works. I mean, you've made... I don't know if maybe someone else is making them for you, but clearly you have YouTube videos, so you know how to do them.
Well, I've made little films of my own, but then those are taken away from me, and later on I'm told that they're made available on the computers.
Suddenly it all makes sense. Yeah, that's what happens. Well, I do those too, and I do a variety of different things on YouTube. Sometimes I'll make videos about bad games or really bizarre games, or sometimes I'll do voiceover for old cartoons, and then sometimes I'll do corruptions. And those are really, people seem to like the corruption videos quite a bit. Yeah.
What's the story there?
Well, a corruption...
It sounds a bit like do I need a Bible?
No, you don't need a Bible, but a Necronomicon might help. No? Corruptions are basically, what you do is you can glitch a game on purpose. And I make a video of that, and I'll usually stream it live. You know what? No, I make a video of that. Let's not talk about streaming again. Videos are made, and I corrupt the games, I glitch them, and then
you break the game.
I mean, in a manner, I don't ruin the game. In a manner of speaking, I do break the game, yeah, and people like to watch that. Yeah.
Does that not affect the resale value?
Wait, no. The thing is, I'm not actually using a physical game or like a cartridge or a CD or anything like that. This is all on the computer. It's all done. We established.
Let's just say you wanted to bring back Anubis 2, Now, I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but if you wanted to bring that game back to the shop and you've corrupted it, they won't take that back. That's a waste of money. You've broken it.
I can't corrupt.
You buy a train set, you take it home, you corrupt it, as you like to say, and you think you can take that back and say, I want a Polly Pocket. Can I trade this for a Polly Pocket? Forget about it. Get out of here. You broke it. They can't sell that on. They can't repackage that.
It's a little different. It's more that the game doesn't exist in real life. It's on a computer. It's just a bunch of numbers.
The game doesn't exist. What are you trying to pull here?
I should have known that would be a problem. The game is not a physical. I corrupt games that are ROMs. Do you know what a ROM is?
Are you running away from the physical plane again? You think you're a ghost or something? Look, I know what you're doing. You want to skive off. You want to not have to deal with the responsibility. You don't want to deal with the repercussions of your actions. So you think, I know what I'll do. I'll just not exist. I'll play games that don't exist. I'll stream them in an alternate plane of reality. You like to ruin our world from beyond. But face it, Vinny, you live here as well. You're shitting in your own backyard.
What was in your coffee today? I don't have any desire to escape the corporeal realm and live as a ghost in some ethereal fantasy land. No, I just corrupt a video game and make a video of it. Dude, I thought this was supposed to be. I thought you were supposed to help me out a little bit. What's this?
You're Judge Death. That's what you are.
But I'm gonna try one more time. I have not killed anyone streaming. I have not affected the resale value of any video games.
No proof.
I have not at any point tried to escape to a different plane of reality.
No proof.
All I do...
Can you prove any of this?
Not... I mean... I guess I can't. I guess I can't.
The prosecution rests.
Now, just my dear, you see, it's no big mystery at all. Why, it's not only easy, it's fun.
So, MechaGamezilla. The thing about it is, I don't even know your name, and I don't want to know your name. Why is that?
Well, I could only chalk that up to immense rudeness on your part.
Says the man that said I was invading the physical plane of existence and killing people. What is it that you do exactly on the internet, if you know what that is? I know you do. What exactly do you do? I know you make videos. Do you just go around the countryside finding the most depressing locations you can and just talk shite in front of them for a little bit?
I'll just start by telling you what I don't do. I don't stream. I don't kill anyone. I exist on this plane of reality, and I've got a good moral compass, which is rare nowadays, as you know.
It is.
What I do is I make videos, and they get taken away, and I get promised that I'll be given some money in exchange for the work, which doesn't happen. But those videos get put on the internet then, often without my full endorsement. But they're available to watch.
I find it interesting that a guy of your stature and caliber, with as many adoring fans, legions of adoring fans, would still find the time to talk to a guy like me and to still, find time to go around to these little places and kind of film your show. Speaking of, I hear Ireland is one of the biggest gaming countries on the planet. How do you choose which gaming conventions to go to?
Well, they narrowed down for us by having only one each year. And what they've done, because they know how busy I am, and the past 3 years, they've not invited me. But that is not to be taken as they don't want me there, or they're afraid of me, or they're aware of the convictions. That is them acknowledging how busy I am. It's like, look, if I'm organizing a birthday party for next weekend, do I invite Alan Rickman? No. Is it because I don't want him there? Of course not. It's because I know he's busy. It would be rude to ask, you know? And
Right.
that's why I have not attended the one gaming event in Ireland for the past 3 years. As
So
a guest of honor.
you as a guest of honor, you would say that you're the Alan Rickman of the video game world as a result.
I think that is fair to say, because what do you think of when you think of Alan Rickman? You think handsome, you think great voice, you think hugely talented, you think doesn't kill anyone with streams, you know, all this sort of thing. And I've got all that.
All of that, huh? It's good. It's a good role model. That's a
Yeah,
good,
I think more people should strive for that sort of thing, don't you?
yeah. Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Can I make it stop hurting with a new Call of Duty game? Is that possible?
You know, just like anything to, you know when you wake up.
No. Yes.
Well, that's the hardest part. In your mind, you've got a sort of like a spreadsheet, and you see all the boxes, and it's full of like, oh, here's things I have to do, like a job, or pay attention to my loved ones, apologize to my mother, you know, all these things to do. But with video games, you can take a big cloth to that, give it a good rub, and just write Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed DLC. And that's just, it wipes the slate clean, and just, it gives you focus. And you can just keep doing that.
It really is a beautiful hobby we have.
Yeah, you can slide all those other boxes, you can kind of slide them on, you know, next month. But of course, next month,
Right.
another big release. But that's the good thing about video games. And I don't think there's so much talk about video games. You know, there's a lot of talk. There's more talk than games nowadays.
That's pretty.
But seriously, one of the things they don't talk about is how good they are for completely abandoning your real life responsibilities.
Right. Clean the oven, clean out the refrigerator and get rid of the mold, the severed hand in your freezer. All of these things, you can kind of put them to the side because you know that you're going to get a new Call of Duty, you're going to get a new Assassin's Creed, and then a month after that, sometimes the same day, there's some great DLC that will erase the pain and
Absolutely.
the money.
Remember last year it was like, I remember there was a month that I was particularly worried about, but I knew Assassin's Creed, there was going to be a new Assassin's Creed, and I thought, I don't know if it's going to be enough for me this time. Is it going to be enough? But they were prepared 2 Assassin's Creed games, the same.
I remember that.
I was just like, oh, thank God.
That must have killed the emotions for at least a few months.
Oh God, I was scrubbing that calendar. I was free. free to focus.
Free. And I bet all the things that needed to get done, bills and friends and relationships and family and all that stuff, that
Forget about it.
Don't worry about that for a few months because you have all this great DLC content.
Exactly. And this is the message that they should be taking. Not that, I mean, what do people talk about with games? They talk a load of rubbish. They talk about, there's a new game and it's got things in it that we like and things that we don't like. Oh, what a load of rubbish. Talk about how your actual life is bulldozed through. Like all those fears, anxieties, all that stuff that makes you think, oh God, if I don't sort that out now, my future is going to be completely ruined. That kind of stuff can just slide to the side, like a gutter ball, while fun just straight through. That's what they should be. That's what they should be talking about.
I agree. And how dare we, as the internet, as people, how dare we criticize and be bullies when these companies that try so hard to make us feel better for at least 5 hours, sometimes maximum 5 hours, people are bullying them. It's a shame.
Like, let's face it, Vinny, people like you, you've got very little in your life to be happy about. So I just hope that you appreciate what these games companies do for, well, people in your position. Like, where would you be without them? It's just, it's fucking sad to think about that. Right now, I'm thinking about your life. It's making me sad.
Oh.
Thinking about it. Without video games? Jesus. Oh my God. Oh.
I don't think it's all that.
Oh, I'm just thinking about the things you'd have to do for the money. Oh.
Introducing Bing, Bang, Boing.
Would you say that games with guns, loud noises, maybe some kind of epileptic stuff saved the gaming industry? Because I would.
I think they absolutely did. And it's because when you go into a games shop and you're looking around, is there anything worse than seeing one of those, when people try to make a game that doesn't have guns in it, or like a main character who's got their back turned to the camera and they're kind of looking over their shoulder a bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's good stuff. And we know it's good because that keeps getting made and it sells well. I mean, that's good stuff.
Save the industry.
It's like, what's your favorite candy bar? I know over there they call it a candy bar.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good attempt at an American accent, but it came across more like a penguin from an animated Pixar movie. But I'll start with my favorite. My favorite candy bar is probably just a plain old Milky Way, something with caramel.
See, now they make lots of them, and they're going to keep making lots of them. And you know why that is? It's because they're good.
Well, I get the ones that have the thing on them that says 20% more. The ones that I only get those on the package. It says 20% more free, because that's how I know
sweet.
I'm getting a bargain. I'm getting 20% more for free. With games, I don't go for games unless they have that extra 20% available right off the bat, paid or unpaid. The saddest thing in the world for me as a gamer is to browse that DLC shop and not see some brand new guns right when the game comes out. I think that is such a waste of talent. It's such a waste of potentially good investment. And it just makes me miserable when I can't, browse around and find that new horse color or that new M16 attachment that I need in my game, and that's the 20% more of video games, and that's what I need. And if I don't get it, I'm very sad.
I'll tell you, something I learned from video games was that in regards to the candy bars, the 20% extra free, now, like, having experienced how the video game world works, now when I go into a shop and I buy a bar that has 20% extra free, I insist on paying for that 20% extra free.
Good man.
And in fact, even though it's 20%, I pay half the full amount of the bar again for that 20% extra free, because I realized from playing games that 20% extra free, that's not free. That shouldn't be free. It's time to pony up.
It costs them money, and therefore we should be responsible enough to help out these people and the CEOs.
Well, this is it exactly. Like, it's one thing to leave the machine on so that a little bit of extra bar comes out, but they've got to redo the wrappers. And that 20% extra free, that's always printed in red, which is one of the most expensive inks.
Colors. I know.
I mean, they're still using insects to make that red.
Crush them down by the river with a mortar and pestle.
Absolutely. And do you think
it's just it's unreal that here we are so presumptuous to think that we wouldn't have to spend this extra money on the 20%. I'll pay the full amount twice if I know there's some good workmanship that goes into that wrapper.
Yeah. I also know another thing is that when I was a kid, I was such a fool. I used to break off bits of the bar and share it. You know the way you would share your chocolates and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I know that that's my bar. That's for me.
We were naive.
And if other people want to experience the bar, they need to get their own.
How naive of us to think that you could do that. And now you've got, see, that's the right idea. That's the way you should be thinking. You bought it. It's for you alone. And sharing it, other people could potentially regurgitate it into someone else's mouth, and then they get the flavor. It's just a whole big mess, really. And it's not even about the nougat deep down in the bar. It's not about the nougat.
Oh, no. No, you'd be a fool to insist that nougat was what this is about. I mean, what it's about is about video games.
Yeah.
Just try to catch it and not get wet. Water Wiggle. It's a crazy way to cool off.
MechaGamezilla, I've heard that you only have one ear.
That's right.
Well, what is that like exactly?
Well, it's good, because oftentimes when I find myself in a social situation, there's at least one person who I'd rather not hear. So I simply, but subtly, turn my head so that it appears I'm still listening, but they're more or less blocked audibly for me.
That sounds like an advantage more than a disadvantage.
Absolutely. So I can completely ignore them talking about, I don't know, finances, while listening to more important conversations to my left.
That sounds good. That's like, like when they say mouth is just an ear backwards. You're turning your reverse mouth away from the crowd.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Yeah, you have the ability to focus more on more important things, such as the fact that you've got 3 thumbs. Now, I hear all these things. I don't know if, it's tough to really verify this information. Someone as well known as you, but I still have to wonder, does that give you an advantage in video games? Are you like really good at video games because you have 3 thumbs?
No. I get this a lot. Does the extra thumb help? But truthfully, there's only so much that the third thumb can do because it is on my right shoulder blade.
Oh.
And unless I hold the controller up, sort of like over my shoulder to play, it's like that's not comfortable. I can do that for maybe 5 minutes before just getting a crick. So
Okay.
I just leave it.
What's this about a guy in London having a wank on a moped?
It's true. It's absolutely true. It was outside King's Cross Station. London's an incredibly large place and an incredibly bad smelling place, but that aside, there's plenty of places in London where if you fancied a wank on a moped, you could get away with it and no one would ever see you. But this was outside King's Cross Station, which is, I think, that's where Harry Potter's set. Harry Potter goes to King's Cross Station to learn how to wave a wand about in the train station. And, all the teachers on the trains, and I've not read them, but it was right out there. And I was with friends and we got hash browns from Burger King.
Oh, delicious.
Very greasy. Very greasy. But we needed them. And we were making our way on, and he was working away. Like I could see him from behind, and it looks like someone having a chuckle to themselves.
Yeah.
But I thought, there's no way that moped's that funny. So I went over and I leaned over, and sure enough, chugging away.
Jesus.
And I turned back to my group. I wiped the hash browns grease off my face and I said, "Yep, he's having a wank."
You know what you should have said?
Go on.
The trains aren't the only thing chugging today.
You're absolutely right.
Hang on, I've got the perfect thing for this.
Ideal.
The next day, sun's back out. We're walking by it. There's a stain on the seat.
So who stole the
Crusted.
moped? Crusted.
Crusted. The question was it his own? Or was it someone else's? Did someone else have to deal with that?
Oh no.
Or was it him just like enjoying his own?
Right, like
Okay.
fisting a frozen shite through someone's skull.
Absolutely. Was it his own skull?
Could have been anyone's skull. I mean, that's the real issue. You don't know whose skull it really could have been. But within that skull is a lifetime of food memories. And see, it's non sequitur. It's pretty good. And the question I have for you is it true that Tato is better in the North?
Nothing is better in the North.
Great.
Be an uncanny judge of people and keep a stiff upper lip. Rich, tense, nerve-wracking.
All right. So that's all the time we have for today. It's been really interesting and informative. And I'm Vinny from Vinesauce. And with me is MechaGamezilla. You can go to YouTube and type MechaGamezilla in the top and you'll find him.
They know me.
Yeah. And if you need to see any of my stuff, you can go to www.google.com/trends/explore #Q equals Vinesauce %2C MechaGamezilla.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this again tomorrow.
Yeah, this will be a daily thing and it will be really fun. So you guys can look forward to more of these every day. And it's been great. Except for when you said that I was trying to invade the physical realm. But aside from that, it's been great. So take care.
You too.
See ya.
Yeah, okay.